Hello, hello! Welcome, everyone, to another fun video of World of Warships Legends. I am your host, Phoenix61, of course. And if you were like me, you may have recently finished the campaign. This week kind of marked the sweet spot for once if you've been doing the weekly grind for Renown, you've probably finished the campaign, and you may or may not be deciding whether you want to buy Admiralty backing. I know. With this time around, some people might be looking for the winter currency, right? That the ice crowns or whatever. So Admiralty backing, if you have finished the campaign, buy the Admiralty backing. That gives you like 4,500 more of those, right? So that's a good deal when it comes to the winter currency. But otherwise, this ship, looking at the overview here, so you can see kind of what it's highlighting, right? And I can attest to the greater heal for sure. And the more torpedoes are really, really awesome. But here's the kind of stats, just standard, right? So I haven't done any upgrading or anything yet. We literally just purchased our Admiralty backing and we're just taking a look at the ship. 4 launchers of 5 torpedoes that go 13.5 kilometers. That is going to be the my favorite part of this ship, I'm sure. And then AA defense is really great with those 52 millimeters on the bottom with a 6-kilometer range. So you could do a pretty sweet Wicked AA build if you wanted to, but I'm going to kind of outfit for kind of my standard cruiser, I don't know, my standard British cruiser maybe, I don't know, but so yeah, this is what is this called? This country is labeled as Commonwealth, right? And I do wish you got the propulsion mod here. You don't get a propulsion mod choice, and it definitely shows, because I like to pick that mod quite a bit. And then the downfall here, this ship reminds me a lot of the Minotaur, the British legendary tier cruiser. But the downside is you don't get a smoke screen, is the huge difference, which just makes it all the more challenging, right? So we went with concealment. And then we're going to go just kind of our main battery range dispersion mod 2 here. So that's going to be my pick. And then, yeah, you could I'm going to go with sonar. Like an AA build would be really, really awesome. If you really hate airplanes, go for it, right? But I'm going to kind of use what happens more often, right? You don't always have airplanes in the game, so I like to, I generalize, I guess you could say. So these are the 2 commanders. I don't know if Harold, this new one that I'm at level 1, I don't know if he came with, I can't remember when we bought Admiralty packing. But this is who I'm using for, I think, the destroyers. The couple of destroyers that I have, but yeah, so there's just not a lot of commanders out there for this Commonwealth country, right? But this is how I have this guy set up, and I was just kind of trying to look and see, do I want to switch and use this guy for the cruisers and the new guy for the destroyer? Because this guy's got some, his main perk is smokescreen related, and you don't get smoke, and then there's a lot of smokescreen stuff in the throughout the tiers here too. But you don't get a smoke screen, so you'd 110% be relying on getting into somebody else's smoke screen to use these commander perks here, right? So I just kind of was a little confused, am I supposed to, is this guy supposed to be for this? What's going on here, right? But I think for now, I'm going to stick with the new commander that we got here. So we'll use this guy for the time being, and then we just won't pick any of these sort of smoke screen related assets, perks, whatever you want to call them, attributes, whatever. So we'll go AP shell damage. So I don't know if this, you do get, with the Minotaur, you only have AP shells, so I would kind of lean towards picking this, but one of these other defensive ones would make sense too. You do get HE shells with this ship, so you've got that going for you. And then I'm going to do, shell grouping and main battery dispersion for sure. That's my style. And, we need to pick inspiration still. Whoops. That is totally like me to just straight up miss. Sometimes I'll get a new, a premium ship and just straight up not buy the mods for the modules for the ship, right? So Norman Scott's kind of a good standard pick for myself. And then, yeah, you could do AA. You know, if you were doing an AA build, you could make this ship pretty wicked, I think. But I'm not going to do that. And then sometimes with, you know, ships that take really bad Citadel hits like this one does, sometimes I pick defensive inspirations too. And then you could even, with how awesome the torpedoes are here too, you could even go torpedoes. Like, you know, like it's kind of crazy. It's just like this all-around ship. The downside is it's just like Minotaur, where you could just die like instantly, and we do that. A couple of games I had where I had like some good games, and then just got myself into like bad situations. So like some of them, I think I ended up winning a few, but you know, we died early on, so I didn't save those games. But I took a few clips from some of those other games and stuck them in the middle of this video here for this Brisbane, right? This is kind of interesting. So this is a newish Commander 2, at least for me. But this like gives me perks for just about everything. Like, you know, like this would apply, you know, torpedo damage and main shell gun damage. You know, I mean, secondary battery, it's got secondary battery, but you know, how often do you use secondary battery on a cruiser? Like, not that much. But so maybe I go with this this newish Pan America guy for inspiration. I think I like that idea. We'll try some things out, right? And then we'll at least do one legendary tier, since it only costs you know, one of those currencies, right? So we at least can get fully packed up and running at the minimum setting, right? Flag. We'll stick something on here. I like to use the Peace Day flag that we have. See if the camo is. That looks like it doesn't even. Yeah, that looks like what was standard on it. So, okay. Let's pick something then. Yeah, let's see what else. Let's see what I like. You know, black is always a safe bet, right? But I'm running low on those. I only got 2 more. You know, 25 more of those. That's only, you know, I can only make 2 more permanent camouflages with the black. I don't like to put the America paint job on the non-America ships, right? So this one's not bad. It's one of the Santa ones. This Rust one looks cool, but I only have 11, and you need 12. This one's good too. Choices. Don't like this. Bunch of eyeballs. That, like, the black and red is like one of my favorites. So is this one. This is an old Halloween one. I think we might do that. Yeah, we're gonna do this. I haven't used this this pirate camouflage. I don't think I have this on any ships. So it was perfect. All right, do we upgrade the paint? Let's see if we have any. We have 119. We got a lot of these camos that I never use, though. Let's trade these in for paint. Gimme. Oh, that'll probably, yeah, between these we'll probably get enough to be able to max out our permanent camouflage. Look at that, almost 600 just from those. This hunter camo is boring. Let's sell this one too. That's not that exciting. Another 70. Alright, let's upgrade this. Boosh. Maximum pirate camouflage initiated. Alright, so we got our concealment down to 11. That's pretty good for a chubby little cruiser here. Alright, and then, so artillery, now we're up to 17.8 kilometers. That's pretty sweet. So this is definitely going to be one of those ships where it's, I don't think we did much with the torpedoes. Defense we didn't really do. Maneuverability, we did do steering gear, and then concealment got us to 11. Okay, but this is definitely one of those ships that's got the, the bullets are high flyers, right? So they go up high and take a long time to get to target. It just reminds me so much of Minotaur. And then you just don't get the smoke screen, right? But here's kind of where our Citadel and vital ship part armor stuff lies, and it's your typical you will die standard loadout if you get hit by big bullets, right? So yeah, it's an easy one to hit. Yep, yep. But yep, so that's it. Yeah, like it's not even, you don't even have to. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm getting at with my mumble jumbles. You'll go down quick. Yep. I like how the torpedo thing is called aerial denial. Alright, so jumping into a couple of cool kills that we had. So I got a little cornered in this situation here, and there's Yamato super close, just around the corner here. And I happened to notice him, originally I was just hanging back and that was working, but I noticed he fired. So he's got some time before his guns are going to reload, and it was just perfect opportunity to just floor it, switch to the single load torpedoes, and just murder the crap out of him. But yeah, if he would have been able to shoot us, we would have died right instant death. And of course we sent way more torpedoes than we needed to, but YOLO, right? We want to make sure that he doesn't survive. We do get a torpedo hit on this Heisen, but he survives for a little bit longer, so I didn't save. I didn't save any more of that game, right? And then this Ohio here was just inching, and I think what was happening was our destroyer over in the sea cap was sending torpedoes in that direction and kind of pushed him out a little bit here. But so we send five single shooters up in that direction. And then there was a Yamato around the corner here too. It was kind of crazy to see like people, people driving their battleships right into the B-hole here. And then, yep, Kleber shows up, so I'm sure he's sending torps at us too. It was kind of a bummer that we didn't have our sonar going, but I managed to sneak into this B-cap zone, into the B-hole here, and get the zone capped and not die. So we'll keep backing up. Here come his torpedoes, and then yeah, we get the Ohio, and it was almost like I wasn't paying attention that it was even a dev strike, right? Because I was like sitting here dodging these torpedoes and then trying to pick off that Kleber. But then he does, like, I don't know what his deal is, why he shoots here, but I mean, he's gonna die now, right? Like, we got crazy fast moving turrets on this thing. And fast reload too, so like we get those guns around quick, and yeah, that makes short work of him, right?
We destroyed their destroyer.
But yeah, so and we were up to like 100,000 damage there too, and then I think I met my maker with the Yamato that was around the corner. He went a direction I was not expecting, and we met each other around the corner, and I couldn't get torpedoes off before he murdered the crap out of me. So yep. So we will do a full game here in our brand shiny new Brisbane with our 43,300 health, right? But yeah, just looking at this torpedo range, like I can almost fire all the way through those zones already as it is, right? So, but this is a, I want to say a more challenging Minotaur, just because you don't get smoke screen, but it has its pros and cons, right? But yeah, and the biggest con is you die really fast, right? But with in lieu of that smoke screen, you get radar, you get better torpedoes, and you get HE shells too. So you could do you can do an HE shell build if you're in kind of into that thing, which kind of works out for this this type of ship where you get these like turrets that reload crazy fast and fire super high, right? So we're just going to try and get ourselves turned around. I actually kind of didn't mean to go that deep in, but I was looking at my torpedo line, and then I was just kind of curious here. Normally I'd assume I'd get spotted by shooting here, but I was like, let's see if it happens, because this Ohio wasn't looking in our direction, right? So I'm like, you know what, let's take the shots and see if we get spotted. We don't get spotted, so we'll take advantage of not being spotted and get as many bullets off as we can here. But as you can see, yeah, it's these are high flyers, and which is great for firing from behind cover, which is kind of a requirement for using this ship, right? If you're out in the open, you're probably pretty much doing it wrong, right? you're just gonna get eaten alive by battleships super fast. So I'm not sure what's spotting me here. There must be a destroyer kind of off in the direction where I shot my torpedoes, right? So we'll swing ourselves around and see if we can get unspotted. But at least in that scenario, those battleships couldn't get bullets on us, just because theirs don't fly as high, they don't arc as high as our bullets do. So we were able to shoot over, and they probably wouldn't have been able to do that, right? So, but yeah, you can see people trying to shoot us. We're just like we're just like the Minotaurs that are out there, where you get spotted and everyone stops what they're doing and tries to shoot you, right? So see if we can't get some shots on this Des Moines. And then, yeah, the thing too is, I don't know for sure, but I think with my Minotaur, I used the propulsion mod where it gets you up to full speed quicker, and so this feels a little more sluggish. And if you've been in the Minotaur and you're trying to hit the brakes and go full reverse to try and stop inside your smoke screen, it drives you insane because you sit there and slowly inch forward out of your smoke screen a whole bunch, right? So we saw the Z-44, their destroyer, pop up there for a second. So then we triggered our radar to re-highlight him. And then it's an Italian battleship here. Has got his rolling smoke going. So this will give us a few seconds of concealed shooting here. But a little worried about the plane. But yeah, this is kind of the play style you have to stick to. And then yeah, this Yamato is going to be real tempting to try and get torpedoes on, right? So this is how you end your game, is by being tempted by the torpedo shots, right? So but we get back behind this rolling smoke screen from this Italian battleship, and I think if he wasn't there, we would not have done this, right? So we managed to get unspotted. I'm going to hold off shooting my guns just to make sure we don't get spotted, right? But then something picks us up, so I'm going to shoot anyway. But yeah, you can see that Yamato is he's looking back here, but he's also wanting to turn away. So I think we lucked out a little bit. I mean, granted, we're trying to angle ourselves here, but yeah, I mean, you'll still lose a lot of your health, even if you're angled appropriately, right? Like they can just annihilate you. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's just like a lot of the other British cruisers. Yeah, it reminds me a ton of Minotaur. So yeah, if you're considering buying out the campaign or purchasing Admiralty backing, whatever you want to call it, I always wait until I actually complete the campaign, so that way when you do buy Admiralty backing, you get that guaranteed. You're guaranteed to unlock everything and get the ship, right? Whereas if you buy it early on, then you're forced to have to play through everything with the uncertainty that you'll finish it, right? So I always wait till I finish the campaign first, and then you get all the rewards after you purchase Admiralty backing. So we knew that destroyer was still out there, so we had sonar going, and of course here comes the torpedoes. It was wasn't sure that he had to have been the one that was spotting me as we stopped firing our guns, right? So with that 11 kilometer concealment. And then I was going to try and get a cheap shot off of that Kerr first, but somebody murdered him, so good for us. And then, yeah, the Ohio's not looking at us, so we'll sneak in some bullets here around the corner and around over top of this little ledge here. And then we do go unspotted, so I suppose I could have stopped there and just kind of went with that, right? And but he's moving away, and the other players on my team were kind of giving into the chase, right? So if you watch my channel, I always kind of preach it's not, I'm a big fan of not chasing ships that are kind of leaving the areas where the objectives are, right? So they're running away, get the zone cap, and then just kind of let them go, and then fight where the fight is important to fight, right? So I'm going to head towards the B hole here and see if we can't get another second zone cap to kind of help us solidify this win. But as you can see, yeah, like this game, like we do good in this game, but we've got 83 shell hits and only 21,000 damage, right? Nobody was we weren't lucky enough to get torpedo hits on anybody, at least thus far, right? So the destroyer pops up here. I'm not sure what he's doing, if he's getting like radared or what, or if he's firing his guns, but we'll get some shots off on him before we go behind this island here to try and cap the zone. Always willing to help out. Ooh, that was good. Always willing to help out destroyers, you know me. And then yeah, we'll sneak into the zone here. Yeah, he's still spotted. He must be shooting his guns, which is, you know, kind of a mistake, I guess, unless you're within like spotting range. But yeah. So here I'm kind of thinking, you know what, that destroyer's on the run. What was it, in Ohio? That other battleship's on the run. So I'm gonna, as I'm capping this zone, I'm gonna go in for this Yamato, and have some fun with it. Now, like I was saying, like this Yamato, so he manages to take out our destroyer. So he's all alone up here, right? So I'm kind of curious what he's gonna do to get himself back in the fight. I'm gonna assume he's gonna come through. Kind of where where that C zone ends right there, so kind of through this hole where I'm pointing, a little bit to the left of us. So I'll make sure I get this zone capped. But it's 2-on-5 now. It's kind of a, for the most part, a guaranteed win. We've seen some crazy things happen here, but so we'll slow down a little bit just to make sure we get the zone cap, and then we do have our radar, so we could pick him up if he something else is picking him up right now, but. If he does go dark, we could use our radar to kind of spot him, right? So yeah, my original thought was, and maybe he's just too smart and he knew we were over here, but my original thought was he would come right through here. And then it actually kind of looked like on the mini-map that maybe he'd run into the island that's right there by his own sea. So I'm firing torpedoes sort of right at it. But yeah, now it looks like he's turning away enough. Then we're lucky he's not looking at us. Like I said, like he can just... That ship will just murder you. It's instant murder, just like you're in a Minotaur. So yeah, so not having we took like a bullet there. But the heal is really great. So it'll bring you back. It'll bring you back to life for the most part. If you're as long as you've got 1 health point left, right? You can get a decent heal out of these heals. So we'll take advantage of that here. We've got 2 left. But yeah, like I said, if he gets a good shot on us, he's just going to dev strike us, right? So, but we'll go in towards C. We're now down to 4-on-2, so not as comfortable, but I have faith, right? So, but yeah, like ideally, I was just trying to get into a position where I can get some torpedoes off and have some cover in between me and him. It does look like we've got him on fire, so we're getting some damage there. We'll send 1 rack up this way in case he turns back around. Of course, this plane is spotting us. Yeah, we'll send something up that way. Oh man, I'm like super annoyed this plane is picking us up because now he knows which way we're going. I was hoping to just be able to, kind of surprise him, right? But now he knows where we're at, so... Because in that way, if he didn't know we were coming around this way, he'd be looking the other way, and we'd be able to get our torpedoes off before dying. But we'll see what happens here. All right, yep, we can dump some torps, and then yep, we got that rear turret. Surprised that didn't kill us, but we will use the heal, and you can see kind of how useful that is, right? And then we got torpedoes about ready on the other side, so we'll turn in enough to get these off. But it does look like we're getting help. I do see some shells from my teammates coming this way, right? And we'll kind of spread those torps out just to make sure we get the hit. And then we'll fire our guns, because that's all we can do at this point is fire our guns and die. I was aiming high. I don't know why. Like they're hitting his hull and not doing anything. So we'll aim a little bit higher. See if we can trigger more fires. See if we can get this kill. But yeah, he's going to finish us, and that gave him like I said, gave him a devastating strike. And then we get that kill as well. We'll see where we end up on the leaderboard here. But yeah, the new ship. So yeah, we do get third. Tulsa and a Yamato above us here. But yeah, 2,000 XP is pretty decent for, it's a new ship to us. We're still learning, but yeah. like I said, it reminds me a lot of basically Minotaur with some extra perks, but no smoke screen, right? So. But yeah, so I just was like considering, like, do I switch up these commanders? Like which, so we'll see what I stick with here. I do think that I was finding myself using HE shells a little bit more. So yeah, so this is, I know we went through the build at the beginning of this video here too, but depending on where you stuck around and if you watched everything, this is how we've got it. But so we do have that like punch through or whatever perk over on the right here. So I do think I'll switch that to a defensive one. But yeah, see, some of these are just so, they're so smoke screen focused, and then you don't have a smoke screen, so we're picking everything else, and then yeah, punch through. So since I was finding myself using HE shells quite a bit, I think I'm gonna go incoming damage. Yeah, this one defensive, so maybe we'll switch to this. We'll play around with things, right? But yeah. And then, yeah, almost always using fully packed for my cruiser commanders, right? Thank you guys so much for watching the video all the way through. Now is a good opportunity to, if you actually liked the video, you could push the like button. If you didn't like the video, one, I don't know why you're still here, but, but don't push the like button if you didn't like the video. And then I am doing World of Warships videos every single day, so please make sure to subscribe to the channel so that we can see you tomorrow. Thanks again.